Thank you.
All right, another question.
Yeah, my name is Dan O'Kane. I work with our King at Chick-fil-A. So my question, to the panel is, how do we ensure that human due diligence, is still maintained, while we are integrating technology, food safety, food quality? I hear cases of, an operator, telling me that, he woke up at 2 a.m. To go check his store because his cell phone beeped, telling him that the temperature in the working freezer has been below, abnormal temperature for over 2 hours. And he got to the store and it was a false alarm. And there are cases of trying to solve one problem and then introduce another risk in the system. So I really want the panel to address, as we integrate technology into the management system, how do we ensure that we maintain that human due diligence that is important to see that the data that you put in will actually give you the right kind of information that you can act on.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have a question?
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
No. To strategy and taking time to step back and look at the big picture of what information comes in, and is that good or bad if they're getting a false alarm? It's great that they got an alarm and that they acted on it, and then we have to step back and say, okay, what kind of information did we get? And then obviously in that case it's very simplistic, but then to look at why that alarm went off. But I think to constantly review, smell test of it, to keep looking at our systems, at the data that's coming in. Do we think it's still holistic and all-encompassing? Are we still prevention? And I had a slide, really, prevention is there, but it's really consumer confidence is that what we're trying to get to. And so we have to remember that the goal is not to just get a piece of paper of compliance or have a test come in at a certain level. It's about the holistic view, and I think that's the thing to continue to do.
I think part of keeping that human due diligence built into your food safety management system as you also integrate technology is when you build your audits, allow time for observation. Don't just build a checklist audit, because a checklist audit is only as good as a checklist. So allow time for observation so that you can observe the human behavior. If you don't observe the human behavior, you don't know if you really have that due diligence built in. Making sure that audits are unannounced. If you're using internal or third-party audits, they need to be unannounced, because that's when you get the true picture of 24/7 readiness and practice of food safety behavior. So those are two areas that I've had people tell me, my clients tell me, those are areas that I also integrated when I worked for industry. So they're very important, unannounced audits and time for observation to really see what is the behavior, what's being done.
Any other? Go ahead.
You ready for your drink?
No, I'm just checking whether we're
No,
good.
that's fine.
We're good. I just want to know. I don't want to be late.
No, in my opinion, there is always going to have to be oversight by human of the technology.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the technology and the data, if you do it right, it's going to give you signals. But somebody's going to have to make an interpretation and then take a decision based on the information they have. So the oversight, the due diligence that you call it, is always going to have to be there. Somebody trained, hopefully, with the right skills, is going to have to be able to look at the trends, look at the things, and make a decision. So I don't think that we're at a point where everything is going to be solved by machines or by technology. We're far from it.
Right.
And I don't know if we ever want to be there.
No, I mean, I'm just thinking about your question. I think it's an insightful question, and it almost implies that technology will take over.
Right.
And I think what I'm hearing from these guys, and that's my view, is that would be completely inappropriate.
Well, I think one risk he's describing is that you put technology in place and walk away. You don't. If you're going to take a bath and you start the water, do you need to stand there and watch it fill up? Nobody has time for that, so you leave. But if you don't come back, it's going to overflow, right? You can probably overflow the little drain you have or whatever. So you can't just put something in place and walk away. You've got to always be validating it. It's being executed. Can it be executed? So some technology you might put in place does cause more risk, because you don't want to walk away thinking it's working. I think Jorge talked about this morning. It was really a great example. which I still fear, is that the third-party audits person is the one that does the training, that does the third-party auditing, and it's done. So you're getting hundreds, and everybody looks glowing, but they're sending you product defects and recalls, and nothing's changed. So you can't just walk away from it. Got it.
So I mean, it was back to my comment about analytics. Is to me, it's integrating the two. We absolutely need technology.